Alright, hello citizens of the Nigelverse. It's Nigel here once again, and welcome back to the Labyrinth. Normally we do Dixie's Tales from the Labyrinth on Wednesdays, but because tomorrow I'm doing the crime analysis for February and I need a bit more time, at least just to film it, because it might take a little bit to film and thus take a little bit to render and stuff. I decided that you all are going to get Nigel Dixie's Tales from the Labyrinth a day early, so. Oh, of course, as always, I've got some poems for you guys today. And of course, if this is your first episode of Nigel Tales from the Labyrinth, welcome. But if not, welcome back. If you are new here, we do with some exceptions. Man, I cannot speak today. What we do, with some exceptions, is that we read poetry. We read and analyze poetry, talk about the meaning behind certain poems and stuff. And I have three poems written by myself because I do love to write and read poetry, and then two from other poets. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. This first poem is called Loop. Life feels like an endless loop sometimes, repeating the same things, getting the same result over and over again. Attempts to break the loop are in vain, as things loop on and on and on. And I know this is definitely something I'm sure a lot of you guys have felt before, and something I've definitely felt before, where it feels like, hey, you do the same thing almost every single day. Where you get up, do this, then you go back to sleep. Get up, do this, go back to sleep. For some people, maybe job. For some people, maybe something else. And sometimes, sometimes it's not a bad thing if you enjoy what you do. But sometimes it can drag a little bit, like doing the same exact thing every single day, and you want to try to break the loop, and you want to try to do something different, but sadly, well, it does work out sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't really pan out, unfortunately. So, kind of describing that loop where things feel endless. You feel like you're in a rut. I know I've definitely been there. I'm sure, or a lot of you guys have felt that way as well. When it comes to things. If I could offer her some words of encouragement to overcome it I would say, hey, try your best as to do different things and see if you can get to the bottom of why your life may be feeling like it's on an endless loop. And sometimes it's due to circumstances beyond our control. Sometimes that's kind of just how things are. But yeah, yeah. But otherwise, yeah, life can feel repetitive at times. I've definitely been there. I'm sure some of you guys have as well. But this next one is called Long Road. The road ahead seems long, almost endless, until you take the first step, then another, then a few more, then hundreds more, then thousands, and suddenly it doesn't seem so long, does it? So, they say the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step, and definitely he was kind of to an extent and somewhat exaggerated, somewhat kind of unrealistic, but things may seem far away. Your goal may seem far away, but objects in mirror or rather objects in determination and motivation are closer than they appear. So, for example, if I am this distance away from the camera, but then move up closer, then a little closer, then a little closer, then a little bit closer. You see how I'm getting closer every single time? That's often what we have to do when it comes to what we want to accomplish. Like, things may seem long, they may seem rough, things may seem like it's too far ahead, that you can't do it, that you want to throw in the towel. But taking a step closer, it's like that one image slash meme slash motivational picture of like the guy digging through digging underground towards the treasure, or while you see one guy keep on digging and the other guys gave up even though he's so close. Keep working towards your goals and what you want to work on, and it may be closer than you think it is. This next one is called Displacement. I feel lost sometimes, locked outside of my own mind, wandering aimlessly through a mental abyss, drifting through an empty sea, searching for a lighthouse named Meaning, searching for twins named Rhyme and Reason, not ever sure of my destination, a mental vagabond, yet the man in charge of me. Where is my home? It's where my heart is, but where's that? So warm yet so cold. Feelings of ecstasy mixed with agony. As my search continues, the trail grows cold. and I drift away. Something that I'm sure or alive you guys have felt as well. How that feeling of displacement where things just seem, you almost seem lost when it comes to life. Things just seem like things just seem lost. So you're in that kind of state of limbo where you're not fully sure what's going on. You're aware of your surroundings, but but it seems like you're not at the same time. So kind of that weird mix and vibe of emotions. I've definitely been there. There are plenty of times where you almost seem kind of stuck. You're not quite sure where to go or how to move forward. You're essentially fumbling around in the dark. Or I've definitely, and I think that's the main thing explored. There's kind of that feeling of fumbling around in the dark, not sure where you're going. And I use the imagery of like the lighthouse and the water and everything, but things can feel lost. Alright, so next up we have Erotica Suite, and this is by Salima Rivera. For Oscar, there are no words. When I think of you, babe, a soft snow falls lightly down my back, turning into steam on my full brown thighs. An ocean appears, threatening to dash me against the hot sand, spinning me helplessly into the mouth of hungry sky. Cocaine and weed, envy the high you give me, unable to recreate the intensity of the world. You conjure up with a snap of a smile. When you're on my mind, I bubble and boil, cooking like thick salsa, spicing up the air around me. I breathe a music Mick Jagger can only dream about. Dancing to an ancient rhythm, born in the depths of my womb. Yeah. When you're on my mind, I lay back and close my eyes, dragging in the rich, thick smoke of our loving, spinning and whirling, stoned on the thought of you, babe. So, quite a bit being described by Salima here. Or rather, the narrator. I'm sure it's her since it's dedicated to Oscar, who I'm guessing is her and obviously her significant other, whether it be boyfriend, husband, what have you, but significant other, but what we see here, her very, with the use of imagery, it describes a very intense love. She feels very intense feelings towards Oscar here, or the person she's talking to, who feeling very warm, or saying that saying that he gives her such a high that she's very into him, a very intense love of like a love of that cocaine and weed, envy the high you give me. So she's on cloud nine. She is head over heels over him, so he's madly in love with him. He gives him he gives her butterflies thinking about her. So thinking about him, I should say. I told you I cannot talk today. So she's head over heels thinking about him all the time, and yeah, it's such a very intense love that they have, or that she has for him, and I imagine that he has for her. So definitely. So she's definitely very much into him, and dedicating this poem to him, feeling these intense feelings for him. And oftentimes, when you truly love someone, it can feel intense. You definitely feel that intense romantic love for someone, for your significant other, and this is the way that you would theoretically want your significant other to make you feel, loved, and you love them. You're super into them. So she's definitely into Oscar here, or the person she's talking to, and last but certainly not least, we have Stunt Double, and this is by Tomas Q. Morin. And if I mispronounce any of these names, I apologize. In this life, there are stars and there are stunt doubles. Before I became one of those fathers, obsessed with memorizing his lines, making peace with the big director in the sky who doesn't like ad-libs. Before all that, I was the star of my own low-budget soap opera. Once, my brother and I pushed a car while my mother started it. She had a recurring role as single Mexican mom. Once, I was so hungry for candy that I ate half a bag of unsweetened coconut flakes. Once, my father was cast as twins for a few seasons. In one scene, he played tall, dark, and handsome, a bricklayer with smoldering eyes. A few scenes later, he was alone, in a white t-shirt, still a heartthrob, but a heartthrob cooking heroin as generic drug addict number one. Once I forgot my father was not actually a twin. Now I play funny college professor who teaches students how to write poems. But never fear, my son, I haven't forgotten all my training. The most important skill a stunt double must possess is knowing how to fall safely. I've fallen into poverty, fallen into love, fallen into money, fallen out of love, fallen into jail, fallen into hunger, fallen into fairy tales, fallen into plunder, fallen into trauma, fallen into hate, fallen into drama, fallen into weight. There's a story of neighbors in our home for a dinner party that we never told you. Casual racist white man said, "We have a half-breed running back that's dynamite on the team. If I had not been in your room, falling asleep with you, then that's checkmate. That's rancor. That's malice. That's ill will on an ill wind. That's venom. That's justice. That's blood. That's get the F out of my house." Oh, the house where number block 7 is the luckiest number block in Numberland. The house with the green sofa in front of the windows where, every time I sit and read Interior Chinatown, I swear it is the best novel ever written. In this life, there are stars and there are stunt doubles. I would fall off a cliff for you 1,000 times and call it a good day. When I see people celebrate in the park, I remember the early years. I can see Jennifer and her partner kicking a ball with you at my work's holiday party, just before Jennifer says, "He has the most gentle high five ever." It was the golden hour then, like it is now. I still linger too long over the windmill cookies on the craft table while you rehearse your lines. 7 plus 3 equals, 6 plus 4 equals, 5 plus 5 equals. When the end credits roll upon my days, I really just want someone to say he never flinched, and that no animals were harmed in the making of this life. If so, a very interesting way going about what's explored here. So Tomas has here in the poem taking us essentially through his life. But an interesting analogy comparing his life to a TV show, a sitcom, or a stage play, where there's actors playing different roles, and the different roles being different things happening in his life within his parents and everything, and showing him loss but also recovery. He's showing that he's been through some tough times, but coming back stronger because of it. And I think it's very interestingly done. And here is having that both sides, showing the good parts and the bad parts of life. And life does have both parts. It has the good, or the three parts, I should say: the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I like how it's explored here in the poem. Showing that life wasn't always good, life wasn't always easy for Tomas, but he recovered, he made it through, and he came out stronger because of it. And and it's one thing to be knocked down, but how do you get back up? And will you get back up? And that, I think, is the main thing being explored here. And it's really very well done. It's very inspiring, and someone who's been on, who's seen both the good and the bad in my own life as well. Even though I haven't gone through every single thing that Tomas here has gone through, he's definitely had it way worse. There's for people, I'm sure, who have been through things, they can definitely relate to this. Not always having everything, having to pick yourself back up after life knocks you down and just keeps punching down at you like, stay down. But him getting back up and yeah, so it's very well done. Love the analogy. That life truly is kind of like that sometimes, And I think I've even made that analogy before. Life being like a movie or stage play, where you have actors and people who come and go. Oh, you have happy moments, you have sad moments, you have opening and closing scenes, and this last part here, when the end credits roll up on my days, I really just want someone to say he never flinched. So when his life is over, when things end for him, he wants people to remember him fondly and remember, or even though he's went through some things, he still fought his hardest, and and definitely he worked at it to be where he is. And I think that's the main takeaway from this poem, and I think it's very, very well done. But nevertheless, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, turn post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you can see as soon as it drops, and let me know in the comments what your thoughts on the poems and my analysis. Do you agree or disagree with my analysis? Did you like the poems? Let me know. And what is your analysis of these poems? And of course, the crime analysis for tomorrow is going to be on the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, so we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.